This is called the crossover twist. And it can be a very powerful position to place people in to really open up the tension that surrounds the pelvis or the center. We have 57 muscles that cross over the pelvis. 12 go up toward the upper body, the ribs and the arms and the spine, while 45 descend down into the legs and connect down somewhere into the thighs or lower. So it's important that we try to achieve a better state of balance with the length of all the muscles or tension within all the muscles that surround our center. And this particular pose does a remarkable job at doing that. It's not for everybody, so it's important that you assess prior to this pose and then reassess afterwards and see if it was beneficial for you. So to begin with, you'll be starting lying on your back with your knees bent, feet flat, legs parallel, including the feet if you can notice them before you lie down. You'll be resting your head on the floor and bringing your arms across the body, perpendicular from midline or from the spine itself. And you'll want to watch from side to side to make sure that you are lined up like so. From there, you just take one ankle and cross it over the opposite knee. Now we'll want the sole of the foot to be flush with the outer thigh. Often we'll cross the ankle over the knee and the foot will be sticking out. In this particular movement, we're going to be taking this thigh and the sole of this foot and laying it down on the ground. So we don't want the foot to touch before the thigh does. It's important that the leg that's coming down to the ground truly relaxes as much as possible to the ground. Now from this position, you'll have this foot flat and trying to keep it pointing in the same direction that the thigh is pointing, relaxing this leg as much as possible. Encourage this knee to point up to the ceiling, not by using your hand and pressing away, but actually by using the musculature surrounding your pelvis to do so. Now for added rotation, we can turn the head in the opposite direction that the hips are rotated. And just work on breathing, deep breaths. After a little while, you'll hopefully feel a little bit of a release in terms of the intensity of the stretch itself within the muscles, and hopefully they'll start to relax and open up. And then you just bring yourself up, and you can do the same thing to the opposite side, but chances are you're going to find that one side is a little bit more beneficial to perform than the other. Now, there are going to be some of you who have restrictions in terms of being able to rotate over to the ground, that coming over, you'll notice that your upper body starts lifting off and the shoulder comes off the ground. Or maybe there's just too much tension and your lower back doesn't necessarily tell you it likes it quite so much. So you can get a pillow or some type of foam block or object like a ball, anything that you can put right about here and come down and rest upon. So now you've got contact here and you can achieve the stretch or the openness a little bit better. And then over time, get it smaller and smaller and smaller objects until ultimately you're down on the floor. Now, one side is going to feel a little bit different than the other. Doesn't mean that they're not bad to do. You could do both sides, but you're probably going to find out that one is going to be, again, more beneficial and give you a little bit more bang for the buck, so to speak. So be sure you assess yourself prior to and after doing this pose to find out which side or if the pose itself is going to be really what you need at this time.